It's time for another edition of Down the Rabbit Hole, where the staff of myBurbank talks, discusses topics from Burbank's past, or dives deep into the history of the city. Now let's see what's on the agenda today as we join our show.
Hello, Burbank. Craig Sherwood here, of course, again with Ross Benson.
Wow. down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole we go. And here's a little treat for everybody, too. I'll give you a little story here. A couple weeks ago, we were doing an Ask the Mayor show, and we started talking burgers after the show. And our mayor, Nikki Perez, started talking burgers with us. And we were pretty much impressed. Now, in case she's the mayor of the city, but she's also a lifelong resident. So we decided that we're going to go down the rabbit hole and talk about burgers, and we'd bring in a special guest, and and today she's not the mayor. So don't take what she says as official city business. It is 100% Nikki Perez and Nikki Perez only. So Nikki, welcome to our show.
Hi, Craig. Hi, Ross. Happy to be here. Yes, like you said, Craig, today my qualifications are lifelong Burbank resident, lifelong foodie, and a very pregnant lady who wants burgers at 3 a.m.
That's great. Okay, so let's start off this way. Now, I have the perfect burger always in mind. Okay? Ross, I'll let you go first. Give us your perfect burger. You went to a restaurant and they have every ingredient and everything you want in the world. What would you tell them to bring to you as a perfect burger?
Wow, that can be difficult if you think of different places around town. Start with a decent sized bun, no little tiny, small. I got big hands. Got to fill them. Good patty, fresh patty. I like. I can't do onions anymore because of my age, but I used to like onions. But I gotta have pickles on them. Sliced lettuce,
sweet.
Preferably. Pardon me, what?
Dill or sweet?
Dill.
Okay.
Dill pickle.
Important distinction.
And it's funny because I like my dill pickle sliced instead of the round by like quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I like them sliced long,
okay, so
they fit on the burger a little better. Cheese, I love sharp or American cheese, but I prefer cheddar. Condiments, I'm a Thousand Island type guy, or mustard or ketchup if I'm forced to it. And I'll be real happy with that for a couple of...
Okay. Nikki, give us your perfect burger. You can go to anywhere, every ingredient's available to you. How do you want it?
That's hard because, okay, if I'm feeling classy, then I have to say, and also I'm not partisan to any burger in Burbank. I love them all equally, but my favorite burger is my husband's burger.
Oh,
Blake makes a mean burger, and he'll like the things that I love about it is on a nice brioche bun, a nice thick brioche bun, like Ross said. It is a thick patty, which is important. I really like a nice thick patty, and I like my burger medium rare, which I can't do right now, but that's okay. It's okay. And always for the seasoning, you got to have your garlic and your onion. Those are my go-tos. Although I'm starting to get there, Ross, where the onion is slowly going away. But yeah, that's my favorite burger. Just really simple, really thick, well-seasoned meat. It's all about how you season the meat first. And so that's my go-to. And he always makes it with gruyere cheese. It gives it a nice hint.
really? I've never tried that before.
It's really good. Really good. So if we're going sophisticated, fancy, that's the burger. If it's 3 a.m., I'm pregnant, I'm being a trash panda, I want a chili cheeseburger. I want it loaded with chili, and I want it with mustard.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I find sometimes they put a tomato on chili. I never understood that. Why do you put a tomato on those burgers?
Well, it's funny you say that because whenever I go to order a burger, I usually say easy lettuce, no tomato. That's my normal line. I mean, you hate the tomato sliding out when you're about to take a big bite of a good burger. But you guys, you brought up a good one there, chili. Some people like it with a burger, some don't. I I once, I will admit, very many years ago, I was in a contest at Tommy's and I put away 13 Tommy chili burgers. Don't think I wasn't sick the next day and hours later, but I was. But it was a contest and I did win. I still like their chili.
That deserves some claps.
That or, across town, there's other chilies, but can you beat Larry's chili dog? I mean, on their hot dog or on their burger, he uses the same chili. I know the recipe rather well. It happens to be RC Provisional, who has made their chili is made right here in Burbank. They make the chili for Tommy's and add some spices to it and so forth. But that chili originated right here in the city of Burbank. They also do pastrami and corned beef and all that, but don't like it dripping and messy. I don't like a messy burger. I don't like it on me. I like it in my mouth and so forth.
Well, my perfect burger, no doubt about it, is going to be, or I can go roast or I can go sesame seed bun. Either one, but it's got to be toasted. Got to be a toasted bun. Okay. The patty, handmade, medium rare. Absolutely. Pickles, sweet or dill. I'll take either one. Raw white onions, and either chopped. I'd rather prefer chopped, but I'll take the full onion also. It's got to be cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar cheese. It's got to be sharp cheddar for me. I'll try other things, but to me, sharp cheddar is the way to go. Then, depending on the mood, add some avocado once in a while.
Ooh,
Like a little avocado on the burger once in a
a
while.
little splurge for the avocado.
Yeah. And then, as far as the spread goes, usually a Thousand Island. That's usually a good spread. I mean, it's funny. When I was a kid, I hated anything that had to do anything extra on a burger. I just wanted the cheese, the meat, and the bun, and only catch. I hated mustard.
Really?
I hated mustard. And as I got older, I love mustard now. There's so many things I love now that I wouldn't even try as a kid. And my whole thing in the last 20, 30 years has been I always trying new things. I got to try it. I got to see if I like it or not.
I was the direct opposite, Craig. I've always loved mustard. I was that kid that would put just mustard on my hot dog, nothing else.
Now that's funny you say that because just last week I was looking at some different, menu items and somebody, diet items, somebody put mustard on cottage cheese. I can't visualize it and I can't get that taste, but I don't know if I like mustard that much that I'd put it on my cottage cheese.
You tried it?
Well, that's beyond me.
I haven't, but I want to because it must add something to it. I'm not one to put chilies on a burger, meaning jalapenos or anything. I kind of like it plain. But then, we kind of talked about a little chili. I love chili dogs. I can stop at Larry's chili dog and get 2 chili cheese dogs to go. John knows how to make them. The hot dog has a snap to it. The chili is just, it's not greasy. Puts a little mustard on the hot dog first. He'll ask if you want onions. That is a perfect chili cheese dog. Excuse me, so well. I tried to duplicate it 2 days ago. I went out, bought the whole thing of chili that RC Provision. I got it at Smart and Final. That's where John gets his. I got the I forget what brand hot dog, but it has to have that snap. And he taught me how you get that snap is you let your water boil, then you put your hot dog in for just enough time so it gets brittle. So you get that snap. Put it on your bun. Put some chili over it. I was in seventh heaven. I have one sitting in my. I made two yesterday and could only eat one. I got one sitting in my icebox right now.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Nikki, I let you go first.
Is that because she's pregnant?
No, it's because you went first last time.
Oh. We're arm wrestling at the end of the night.
So let me ask you this. What is your first remembrance of ever having a burger?
First remembrance of ever having a burger. I have to say probably McDonald's. Happy Meal. It's the 90s. We're pulling up to the drive-thru with my parents and they ask me, "What do you want to eat?" And I say, "I want toy." and they're sitting there going like, "No, eat." And I'm like, "Toy." And they're like, "No, food." And I'm like, "Happy Meal." They're like, "Which one?" So it was chosen for me.
Okay.
And that's my first memory of having a burger. I think like most kids, it's just like the plainest thing, like the small bun, the little patty, and the cheese. So that's my first memory.
Okay. Ross?
Well, you say we used to travel. Our family every summer we'd get in the car. My dad would have the stuff on the top of the car, and a bag of red and white pistachio nuts in the back seat. And the reason we had red and white is we could only eat white when we left. And if we ever got lost, my dad always told me we could just look for the white shells and we could be eating our red pistachio nuts. But I remember going on vacation after vacation after vacation. In every restaurant we went into, hamburgers, french fries, and Coke. What would you like? Hamburgers, french fries, and Coke. What would you like? Every time, hamburgers, french fries, and Coke. Today, the first burger I can think of, because walking distance, was probably a Bob's Big Boy, with a combo or a Big Boy. And even before that, A&W root beer. Those burgers have a taste to this day. If you can find an A&W, there are some around. It's funny. My brother used to own restaurants, and you'd go into a restaurant for a taste, A&W, because maybe the root beer, the ice cold mug, frosty cold mug, but that A&W burger, they just made it right. And then going through high school.
Well, let me ask you this then. Well, what burger was the Mama Burger? The Papa Burger?
Oh, probably a Papa Burger. I'm a pretty big guy. But then going through high school, I don't think you could top Clint's.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We're going to get to all that in a second.
You unlocked a core memory for me because I'm thinking now, okay, every kid remembers their McDonald's like drive-through. But what was like the first distinct like experience of sitting and eating a burger?
Yeah.
Johnny Rockets.
Really?
Yeah. That was like popping when I was a kid. And you'd go to Johnny Rockets because it was that vibe of the 50s. And you had your burger, but you couldn't have it without a milkshake.
Yeah.
And I remember that distinctly. I remember playing with the little mini recorder they had on the tables, having the burger, the shake. Oh, that was everything.
I'm going to actually use both of your things because my first memory was McDonald's along with Bob's Big Boy. But back then, we had the McDonald's over on Olive and Verdugo.
Yeah.
And back then, there was no inside. It was only outside. You had to walk up to the window, and there had some tables out there, but there was no inside seating. It was not there.
Did they have the big arches?
They had the big arches, but on the arches, they always had how many millions of burgers have been sold. And every few weeks, they'd go from 4 million to 5 million to 6 million. We're now at some of us just say millions and millions, but you could always watch the millions number go up every couple weeks.
Wow.
And then, of course, there was also Bob's Big Boy. But once again, with my weird taste as a kid, and that's back when Bob's Big Boy, now, once again, a long time ago, the front door was out toward Riverside Drive. They actually remodeled it at one time. And it was either going to Bob's Big Boy inside or going to the car hop service. And back then, we actually went through you drive up and go all the way around inside the parking lot in a long line. And that's before they did the remodel, and it had all the way around it. They had car hops. So it was a lot of car hop, but I always remember, but no relish. I hated the relish. Well, once again, now I love the relish. But when I'm a kid, no relish. So it was a very, I have no idea why I was such a plain Jane back then, but I was just, I didn't like anything with relish on it.
You talk about that drive-up service, and what I remember, I mean, I remember having spelling words that my dad was out of town. My mom and I drove to, Bob's Big Boy, and sat out there in car hop service, and the one spelling word I could not spell, and my mom wouldn't let me eat till I could spell the word milk correctly. I could not spell milk.
Oh, no.
She wouldn't let me bite into my Bob's Big Boy till I could spell, and I, to this day, I still remember that like it was yesterday, wanting that burger so bad. But talking about Bob's Big Boy, that relish, they use it today. I've tried to buy it separately. You can't.
It's a red relish too.
Right. It's ketchup, some ketchup, relish, some other spices. Used to buy it over there when you check out. You can't get it anymore because I've wanted it. It's sweet. It just has they put it on the burger. They also put mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Or you can order it different ways. But they use a shredded lettuce. Their burgers are pretty well known. People.
I gotta tell you, Craig, I agree with childhood you. I'm not a relish person. It's not for me. I don't know. I like the onion like by itself, the big slab of onions. Relish, not for me. But for me, Bob's is a staple. But it was my teenage years that were the Bob's years. I was in marching band, so after every football game, we're going to Bob's.
They don't do that anymore.
Which is crazy. That was the best part.
Yeah.
You go to Bob's after. And I remember my order from Bob's. I'd always get my burger with a peach Coke because they can do your cherry, vanilla.
Yeah, see, I love vanilla Coke. I always get it. I have never heard of peach Coke before.
So good.
Tell me about how'd you find that? How'd you find they had that?
I think it's because I used to get cherry Coke, which I love me a cherry Coke. But I'd always go in and you talking to the servers. They're super nice because they know the rowdy Friday and Thursday crowds are always the football game kids. They knew when we were coming down.
Yep.
And they'd serve the whole table and you'd ask for cherry Coke. And I think one of them one time was like, we have chocolate Coke. And I was like, yeah, I've had it. It's like, have you ever had peach Coke? And I was like, no. Intrigue me.
Well, it's funny you talk about I know Bob's is kind of a staple for us that live right around this area. But
I still have their phone number memorized. 843-9334.
Wow. Now there's some trivia information that
there's a real loyal customer right there.
But I remember when I grew up, that's when the 134 was built and Vaughn's Market and all the apartments. I lived on Toluca Park Drive, which was right down the road. And when the line on a Friday night after a football game would go through the car hop service, out the alley, down at past Evergreen to Pass Avenue, down Pass Avenue, and my parents, I remember, would only let me go if the line was up to the freeway because I couldn't pass the Vaughn's parking lot entrance. That's when there was a security bank there. But talk about...
And people think in and out lines are bad now.
Exactly. Right? You knew when you were in that line, when you were on the 134, it was going to be an hour before you get car hop service.
Oof.
And it's so funny. We have these vivid memories growing up. We've all eaten at Bob's. I mean, there's other things on the menu like we said a minute ago, chili spaghetti. Somebody turned me on to that recently. It's delicious. I mean, but yes, a big boy combo. But there's other places in town that, you go to and you just have in your mind that taste.
I consulted with the burger dude a little bit and asked him, give me a list of your best burgers in Burbank. Now, some of the ones he came up with are interesting, such as BB's Cafe over on Pass Avenue. Not the BB's on Burbank and Buena Vista. This is a BB's been for a long time. And even though it's kind of known as a breakfast place, pancake place, you love the burgers there.
It's right there in the same plaza as that Vaughn's.
And should I really date myself when I had hair and I just learned how to take a milk crate, put it up to the engine and check the oil when you had full service car service? Jim Tilley's Union, it was a 76 station, was where BB's is now, Handel's Ice Cream. But I remember them teaching me how to check the oil. That was when you had full service. You'd put the gas pump in, pump it real slow. You'd clean the windows. You check the oil and the air and all that stuff. That's what was there where BB's is now. I'm really dating myself, folks.
Well, Having a handles and BB's not a bad trade-off.
Yes. He also mentioned Granville up on Stanford County Road.
Oh,
Different type of place, which is interesting. Olive's Bistro. You know where Olive's Bistro is?
yeah.
Yeah, that's now the new.
It's still
Right, but they changed the name of the hotel.
It was the Coast Hotel.
Right. It's now called, used to be the Annabelle, now it's called the Coast Hotel. I forget.
Yeah. Well,
I know there's a name change involved.
Yes,
but
you're right.
So it's the restaurant inside there. So I was surprised by that. Now this is one that is it's not there anymore. Burbank Pub, which is now something else. It's a pirate place or something.
Right. Not the Pirates Cove. That was here in Burbank, but no.
Right.
Buccaneros,
Yeah, it's on Burbank around. I want to say around Keystone in that area. It's a new. It used to be Burbank Pub. Now what's it?
right.
But it's called something else now, and I think it's the same owners.
Yeah, and they just redid the model.
So I don't think
It's a
Burbank
pirate
Pub.
theme.
Wonder if they have the same burger.
Ooh.
Well, that's gonna be an investigation, isn't it?
Ooh, that is. We're putting that top of your list when you drive the tour bus, you're taking us, that's our first place.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Here's another great one for you: the New Deal.
Ooh.
Have you ever had theirs?
Yes. New Deal. There's a couple along Magnolia Boulevard, having trekked Magnolia Boulevard for a long time. You got Morrison's
Yes.
along there that has a good burger, but now let's go back up the block a little. Clint's. Do you remember Clint's?
I don't. That was a little bit before
Let's
me.
get to the best ones, and then we'll go back
Okay.
and let's do a reminiscent. Because a lot of reminiscing we need to do here.
Greg has to stop us because Ross and I can reminisce all day.
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah.
Well, we're going to start heavy reminiscing in a second. Finney's Craft House. That's up on. That's on?
Yeah, San Fernando and
San Fernando.
Yep. They do make a good. We've been in there. Yep, I've had burgers there.
Bruce Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
and then the other one that is Morrison.
Right.
Now Morrison. Have you ever had the Morrison
The Morrison.
the Gucci burger there?
I beg your pardon.
It's like $30. It's like
You had a what burger
it's
there?
a $30 burger.
A Gucci burger.
It's a Gucci burger.
Gucci burger.
Gucci burger.
And they use Colby beef in it and all sorts of and everything is. It's good. Oh,
You know,
it's damn
the
good.
Morrison is a good time for you and your puppy. They have full service menu for your dog
outside,
there.
yeah,
They're
out the back.
amazing.
Now wait, do they have Gucci things for your pet? Like they do have a Gucci burger?
You know, I wish, but I wouldn't put it past them to add it on the menu soon.
Yeah, and you'll pay for it too, probably.
Oh man.
Okay, well you brought up Clint's, so that's it for the. He said we're the very very best. He gave me a list of other ones also. He has to give me a list of all the ones that are not in business anymore either. So we'll go back.
Wonder if that's because of their burgers.
Well, who knows?
Well, that's interesting. So wait,
I know I did ruin one burger place at one time.
Oh, I do recall that.
so wait, so those are our top 5 you were saying?
Well,
then?
listen, that Burger Dude's top 5 or 6 right
Okay.
now, but the list is a little bit old.
I will say that though that's a surprise to me. I haven't had BB's like burger. I've had Granville for sure. It's a good burger, but I haven't had BB's or what was the third one on the list?
Granville?
Oh, was that the second one?
Let's see. We had BB's, we had Granville, Olive's Bistro.
Yeah, I haven't had Olive Bistro. So BB's and Olive Bistro are not the first place I think of when I think burger.
Right.
So I'm definitely heading over there right now because when I think BB's, I think matcha pancakes.
Okay. Well, and that's just it. When you're trying to do a different place like every week, you're starting to find places you wouldn't probably think of. But the rule was if the burger's on the menu, they get judged.
Well, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
throwing a challenge out there. I don't have my challenge coin. Our mayor happens to be in the room. I know her real well. Her name's Nikki Perez.
Not married
Right.
tonight, though.
Not tonight,
She's
but
burger-
I'm going to
a
go to
burger
the
for a
mayor.
fresh auto.
I'm going to go to the mayor of the city of Burbank, and somebody told me, I don't know, some birdie told me she's pregnant, so she has all these weird cravings for burgers. I want people to email us, and the mayor, Craig, and I will join you for a burger at one of these crazy places. In fact, I'll make this deal real good. myBurbank will cover the cost of it. How do you like that?
I must pay you too much.
Okay,
I like
Madam
the sound of
Perez.
that.
Yeah.
Free
And
burger.
you know what? You can bring your husband with you because he knows how to cook a good burger. We're going to have to make him go to work for you.
You know, he's the real judge. I'm always like, oh, I love our restaurants. And he's out here like, this is my list of the top 5. I'm about to, like Craig said, destroy some restaurants on the list.
Well, you guys
He's
might
there.
get to meet her husband, which we happen to know real well, but he is an aficionado when it comes to the kitchen.
He's a phenomenal cook. I always like to tell people our first date, he said, I'll cook for you. And I said, okay. You know, when a guy says, I'll cook for you, you're like, what kind of stale chicken am I going to get out of here?
Yeah.
What kind of rubber chicken, what kind of pasta, hamburger helper am I going to get here? And he said, what are you feeling? And so I was trying to be silly. And I said, seafood. He was like, what's your favorite seafood? And I was like, lobster. When I tell you that man made me the best lobster tail I've ever had with a lobster bisque reduction, like a soup. It was delicious. I felt like I was eating at a Michelin star restaurant. Never questioned him again. And I knew that I had to lock that down.
There you go. Well, let's get back to our older places that are no longer around, like our Clint's. Okay, and now, did you ever make it to Clint's?
I did not. What
Clint's
years was it around?
It's back in the 70s because it was there when we were in high school. It was on Magnolia. Right now, it's the fire department union office on Magnolia between Myers and Keystone. And I had a print shop teacher, Gordon Rouse, that if you had his class during lunch and you cleaned up real well, he'd let you go 10 minutes early or 15 minutes. And I made sure my work area was always clean because I think Clint's would only seat 10 to 12 people.
Yeah, very small seating.
And if you didn't get in there quick enough, and you wanted to get that first burger, and again, that's where I learned the sliced pickle. And his chili was just perfect. How he wrapped it, you were in seventh heaven.
And if you were there regularly, he would know what you wanted before you got there.
Wow.
Kind of like John at Larry's.
Larry's, yeah.
When you stand in line, he started making it right away. And oh my goodness, it just, back then, so hard. And at Burroughs days, you only had 30 minutes for lunch. And
Wow.
So you had to get somewhere quick off campus. So it was either at Clint's, or we'd go to Pup and Taco on the corner of Olive and Buena Vista, or we'd go to Pizza Pie on Reese and Magnolia.
Ooh. I think I lucked out because I had 45 minutes back in my Burroughs days.
Yeah, no, yeah. So we lost a lot of great burger joints in Burbank over the years. And you say your list is, you still have quite a few on your list. It's a bummer that, yes, restaurants don't make a lot of money selling burgers. Come on, let's admit it.
Yeah.
It's not where you're going to make your most money. But we've had some great places in this fine city of Burbank for burgers, over the years.
One time they were trying to be a little cheeky and they were like, oh, you're the mayor of Burbank? Oh, that's like Hamburger Town. And I'm like, you bet yourself it is. We have the meanest burgers in town. I don't take that as an insult. That's a compliment.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Here's a few burgers that are no longer around. How about the hot dog show?
Oh,
You remember right down here on the corner of
yeah.
Rose
In Rose and
Rose and Riverside?
It's, what is it now? It's
What is it now?
it's a
vegan.
Yeah.
Vegan only or vegan V
It's,
something.
Yeah. Isn't it like veggie
Veggie Grill.
There we
There
go.
we go.
And see now, this lady knows her city. I tell you.
Although I will say I'm very much it's hard to get me to eat my veggies, especially now.
How about Buchanan Arms?
Oh wow.
Buchanan Arms.
Yeah, I forget where it is.
No. Third and Palm.
No, this was on Burbank Boulevard.
Oh, okay. That's the one that is now
The Pirates Cove.
The Pirates Restaurant.
Pirates Cove, that's what it is.
Or no, Pirates Cove was down the street a little.
Oh.
The one we're thinking of, Buchanan. Oh, we better drive. You're driving the bus, man.
Yeah, we gotta go take a tour. This sounds like an excursion.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, where else do I have? What do we have on here? We had Frank's, which has now been reduced to being a movie prop set.
Yeah.
There's a little funny story about that. Is on the front they had the big sign out there, and we went there for lunch one day, and on the side it says pies. Oh, I always have a good pie for dessert. So I go, oh, what are your pies? He goes, oh, well, we don't have any. I go, well, but she goes, oh, one of the movie people put that sign up there, and we liked it, so we just kept it up there. I go, with the prop sign.
I was like I forgot what social media, it was either Facebook, Reddit, or one of them, but somebody made a post and it went a little viral, and they just made a joke saying, the other day, I almost walked into Frank's on the movie set, and they had video of them like literally walking into the movie set. They were like, I ran into Zendaya and Tom Holland, not knowing it was a movie set. I just wanted a pie.
Well, here's one for you. You know, we just lost Norm from Cheers. What about Dalt's? Everybody remembers Dalt's.
Oh, what about Dalt's? Were you a Dalt's person? You remember Dalt's? It's
Riverside and Olive. Inside there was a McCormick Schnitzel one.
Yes, I remember that.
Dalt's was the original restaurant down there. And
tons of celebrities and
they did good burgers.
Oh, they did.
Fish and chips, good shakes.
Now we learned a secret.
Fish and chips are my go-to.
There's another one. Craig and I learned Gary Brick, and I wouldn't drop his name like a, ex-mayor or anything, but he had a restaurant out there on Hollywood Way, just outside of Burbank.
Outside of Burbank, yeah.
Outside of Burbank.
People think it's in Burbank. The zip code does not make you in the city.
Who did we have an argument with just 3 days ago about not being in Burbank? But we used to go in there. He had a good burger.
A great burger.
One of the best burgers. But he told us the secret of how to construct a burger. You take the bun and you put the mayonnaise on it first.
Yeah.
That way, and then you put a piece of lettuce and your tomato. That way your juices from your burger don't infiltrate your bun on the bottom, so that first bite you bite into, the bun.
The worst thing you can have is a soggy bun. I always
You don't have soggy buns, do you? Oh, excuse me. So back to burgers.
Ross, first we're talking about the having large buns, now soggy buns. Come on, Ross, this is a family show.
This is true. But he told us, and he stayed up on the burgers dude's list for a long time. We learned. So now when I make burgers, I think of Gary Brick. I don't think of him just for that, but he did have a great restaurant that is now just called The Ramp, I think. But that's what Craig and I learned when we used to go in there, and it was only like $4.95 or $5.
Good price. So, what about Public House Nowhere?
Ooh,
that one I don't know.
Oh, Public San Fernando Road at Palm.
Nope.
No.
Public House.
It's an Italian place, Mariposa and Burbank. Little red building on the corner.
Oh, now it's what is it called now? It's an Italian restaurant.
Well, it was called Public House Nowhere.
Huh.
At one time, you're right. And
how about The Office?
Ooh, on Burbank Boulevard at Keystone.
Nope. Victory and Hollywood Way, right next.
Oh, that's right,
right
just
next
west.
to
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, we're next to the KFC.
And now it's a game place.
Yeah, now it's what is it, Guildhall?
Guildhall, absolutely. What else do we have on here? California Eatery.
I can picture it.
Oh, I remember this. I like their food, but
And what's there now?
California Eatery. I can visualize it.
What was there before it? Let me try that.
A florist shop?
Yes, you're right. It was Conroy's.
Conroy's, that's right.
oh,
And now it's
I
BB
remember
Cafe.
that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that took me back like a few years. I don't go back to gas station years, but that took me back a few iterations.
Yeah, you should probably have that one. That's in your.
Although I keep telling people, I'm like, oh, I'm young. And then the other day I said to my brother, can you pick me up something from Lucky's? And he was like, what's a Lucky's? And I was like, Albertsons. He was like, what? And I was like, Smart and Final. Oh my God.
Now you want to throw him a real wrench someday? Lucky's Market, where the office building is at Pass and Alameda, that used to be a food giant. And then they tore it down and built a Lucky's, and it had blue mosaic on the outside, the whole place. You entered from the parking lot, and that was a Lucky's Market.
Yeah.
How many Lucky's Markets did we have in the city? There were 2 or 3, but
They were like the big chain, and then
Yep.
it was Albertsons, and now it's not. It's crazy.
It's funny how those things just, how things keep changing. The longer you're around, the more things change.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Andre's Cafe. We're talking about 7 or 8 years ago now. Up on the hill, though.
I was going to say, this was more downtown, right?
Yeah. Andre's was at, I want to say, Providencia and Glen Oaks. In the little shopping center there.
Yeah.
I remember one of the best salad bars. We don't have salad bars in this city anymore. There was a Sizzler at Providencia and Glen Oaks.
Yeah.
There was also one at Hollywood Way in Chandler.
That's not the dentist office. I remember.
That's right.
Or you can eat shrimp.
Oh, good salad bar. We don't have a salad bar in Burbank
Oh, man.
because after COVID, they had to take away that gesundheit, glass thing, and everybody was afraid of anybody touching their own salad.
I got to tell you this for all my millennials out there. Supplantation.
Oh, yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Wanted one in Burbank so
Heartbreaking.
bad.
Didn't we have one where Flappers is?
I beg your pardon?
Flappers was a soup plantation.
Flappers. Was it?
Was it?
When they first built that town center.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was a soup plantation.
See, you got
That
both
was
Nikki
my
and I.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
I did not appreciate them enough when I was a kid. I used to go in there, stack up my plate with everything. And then the dessert was all of the ice cream you could want. There was anything you could want. And now I just get to see the sad signs and the remnants of them mocking.
Well, you just talk about Smorgasborg. There was one on Magnolia Boulevard called Smorgasborg.
Yes, there was.
And you'd walk in one way, it was cafeteria style. You get your tray and your plate, and you'd walk down this way and then this way, then this way. But you could put 1,000 things, and the best part is you can go back 10 times.
Yep.
We're post-COVID, folks. Let's bring back those buffets.
Oh.
If you're listening and you want to start a buffet, come to Burbank.
We lost a buffet up on right by Burbank High, by next to with the market up there, Ralph's. There's a buffet up there.
They're Asian.
Asian buffet. We lost that one too. It's closed. How about Steve's Charbroiled Burgers?
Brighton and Victory Boulevard. It's now called.
It's got the three renovations since it's
the Mexican restaurant. Habanero has a drive-through. The owner is the nicest guy you will ever meet. You want anything special, it is convenient because it's a drive-through. And Steve's Burger. Steve's was pretty darn good itself.
Ooh.
Okay, you ready for another one?
Now I'm having burger FOMO. All the burgers I wish I would have tried.
Oh, Better Fresh Burger.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, that is on it's Olive and Victory.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It's now a catering service,
That's
isn't
right.
it? Yeah,
Yep.
Nora's
Yep.
Catering or something. But I remember, I loved those burgers. We'd go with my family all the time after any kind of game we had.
I was just going to say they offered a special. They were very close to somebody at Burroughs. I think they had a kid on one of the teams.
Well, they always had a fundraiser. You can always do a fundraiser.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's why we'd go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Band did fundraisers there, baseball did fundraisers there, and that's why we would head over there whenever we got the chance.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to give you another one now.
Uh-oh.
That I know you're going to probably know.
Ooh.
You ready?
Okay. Now I feel like I'm in high school and about to get a test and study.
Sardo's.
Oh, I do remember this. Where was this?
Next to a big market.
Oh,
Am I throwing it off? Next to a bank. Next to a California donut. What was it called? California Donuts, I think. Yeah. California Donuts. Come on, Nikki. It's in your hood.
In their parking lot, they also have a place called Gilbert's.
Ooh, was that next to Dana Drugs?
Next to Dana Drugs, yes.
And was that next to, what was the ice cream place at the end? Curry's.
Curry's ice cream at the very end.
Oh, man. Look at.
Oh, my God. No, yeah, I'm stumped. I remember Sardo's. I do remember the place. I can't tell you where it was.
You sure? The Bank of America right next door to it.
Oh, my God. Was that by the, oh, my God. Now it's the chicken place.
Now it's the chicken place.
Yeah, now it's the chicken place.
Now it's, oh, my God. I'm forgetting the chicken place. Pregnancy brain.
Yeah.
What's it called now?
The chicken place. That's good for me.
Yeah, right. Ding, ding, ding. You win.
Yeah. I'll take the chicken place. No problem. I thought you'd remember that, though.
I remember
it a little bit.
And it was like definitely there when I was around the Burroughs time. Like we had very select places we could go eat at that time.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay, I'll throw one at you, but I'll give you 10 points if you don't remember, because I don't think you were even.
No, she'll get points if she gets it.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was even conceived yet.
Okay.
Juicy Harvey's.
Oh, an easy one. Come on now.
Oh, I think that was before my time.
Really?
Juicy Harvey's?
Yeah.
You know where that studio called NBC was?
Yeah.
Right across the street. It's now called
Wienerschnitzel?
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Really? There's something there before. See, the Wienerschnitzel's been there my whole life. That is, I remember because I used to have the incorrect opinion that Wienerschnitzel just sold alcohol.
Oh.
That's just here in Burbank.
Now, there was another, I always called it Del Wienerschnitzel, and everybody said, it's not Del Wienerschnitzel, it's just Wienerschnitzel. There was another one in Burbank. Do you know where it is? It is still the same as Burger Place.
Is it where the Tommy's is?
There you go. You can tell by the shape of the building.
Yeah.
And, of course, I don't think they did burgers there, but it was next door to Juicy Harvey's on the corner.
A great bar. Oh,
No, it was
Chadney's?
Orange Julius.
Orange Julius.
Oh my gosh, there was an Orange Julius.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there were two.
You know what's called
The one by the mall is the only one that I know.
Oh,
and
no,
that's
there
like
was the one
last
that
one.
the Orange Juice is now called the studio thing. They sort of
Studio Cafe.
Oh.
Coffee Studio Commissary.
Commissary.
Oh, coffee
I love
commissary.
throwing these out.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was another Juicy Harvey's in town. Not Juicy, no.
Orange Julius.
Orange Julius. There was another one. You can tell by the sign, the building, Main and Alameda. Teriyaki burger used to be Orange Julius.
I didn't know that.
And here now.
And by the way, the what's the place called? The teriyaki burger place? What's that called?
Yaki burger.
Yuckies.
It's called Yaki's. I said they got the name because their burger there is yucky. Oh, you would taste teriyaki in the burger. They wouldn't. They'd cook it with all the teriyaki stuff.
All of my
Oh, it's
friends,
terrible.
because we had a high school stomach, all of my friends would after school, we could walk to Yaki's. And this also happened after middle school because I went to Dolores Huerta, which was Jordan at the time. All of us would walk down there to Yaki's and they would get this abomination that was like a corn dog that was fried and had cheese on the outside. To this day, I'm like, if I ever have like stomach problems, that's why. Like it was bigger than our faces. And at the time we loved it. I don't know that I could tolerate it now.
Okay, now it is a commercial burger place, but they make the best tacos at 2 a.m. And we used to have two of them in Burbank. There's only one remaining. Where do you buy your tacos at 2 or 3 a.m.?
Where I get my tacos at 2 a.m.? Well, I go to Fiesta Taco Truck, which is right outside of Burbank, but that's nobody can see me. None of my lovely constituents can see me sneaking around at 2 a.m. eating tacos.
I was going to say Jack in the Box.
Okay, and we did used to have two.
Do you remember when there was one across from St. Joe?
Yeah, that I remember.
They listed in Alameda?
In Alameda.
I thought you were going to say Del Taco.
Oh, yeah.
We used to have, we had 3 Del Tacos, and now we're down to 2 Del Tacos.
I would love to see what the burger guy thinks about this, but actually, this is a deep web opinion, but I agree with it fully. So the Del Taco burger is so good. Okay, thank you, Greg.
I have called it the best 3 a.m. burger there is.
It is amazing.
Yeah, you go there at 3 a.m. and have the double Del.
The place is selling.
It's amazing.
The place is selling tacos. They advertise it. It's like it is there on the menu, like that thing that like
it was number 9. I'm not sure what it is now, but
it's down there. It's one of those things that people don't.
They closed the one here by us that had drive-through. I can't drive to the airport every morning.
I remember the Del Taco was where the Starbucks is.
Yeah.
Back in my day, because that's where I grew up. That was my corner. So that was the Carl's Jr. and the Del Taco next door. So you had choices.
Didn't you? And I never went to Carl's Jr. for one simple reason: no drive-through.
Really?
Why would they not have a drive-through in that location?
See, I lived so close that I could walk. So
Wait. Hollywood Verdugo?
Yeah.
I opened that Save On drugstore when they opened. I was one of the first employees there. In fact, I photographed the manager, Jim Reefus, had me, because I was into photography, every item, and he had a notebook. So when you were doing stocking, you could look in this notebook and know exactly what where. But that Carl's Jr., before there was a Del Taco out there, which is now Starbucks.
Yeah.
But I remember when I tell my grandkids this, the guy had come in and bought liquor at Save On, and we refused to sell him liquor. He got into his car, put it in reverse, drove through Carl's Jr. into the sidewall, then put it in park, and we thought he was coming into Save On Drug, and he hit that. There's a hydrant. Right in front, and there's one of the poles, so you look at it, is still bent and I thought they were going to come in and get me for selling them liquor, and he didn't buy any liquor from us. But I worked there. I was a Santa Claus there during the holidays. Craig used to protect our Christmas tree.
Yeah, you got me a job there one Christmas, just watching trees all night in their parking lot.
Well, that pole is definitely now on the tour stop.
That was I didn't know you, because I live right down the street. Before that Del Taco was there, I used to park. I had a mail truck and then a Cadillac on Verdugo. So from the photo counter inside of CVS, I could watch my car. Oh, and so that corner well. You remember it was the pizza place, and then there was a Jewelers, Garland Jewelers, and then a couple other places. I watched that whole place. It used to be from the ranch.
The only place that hasn't really changed is the Popeyes. That's, I think, the longest standing place there. But yeah, that Carl's Jr., it was funny. We'd always joke with my friends who lived in the same area, it was walkable for all of us. And so we'd always joke around and say, okay, let's go to Carl's Jr. Del Taco. Because some of us were finicky about wanting Carl's, some of us were finicky about wanting Del Taco. But I was a committed disciple of that Del Taco burger. It was the best thing on the menu.
Double Del.
Oh.
Years and years and years ago, before that 7-Eleven was on that other corner where the Shell station is now, there used to be a corner liquor store before 7-Elevens. And I'll never forget, because I lived on the other side off of Pass, an airplane took off from the airport and crashed right into that store. And I remember years and years that I remember seeing the smoke and all that. That was before I chased police and fire calls.
Geez, Ross, you were witness to how many accidents on that corner?
Oh, quite a few. In fact, Craig and I remember on Cordova, a helicopter crashed into a Budweiser truck during our school years.
No, I was 76.
I have pictures of that.
76. That was my first ever news assignment. I shot for the Daily News.
Right down there. In fact,
the Burbank scene.
It was 8 houses south of Ron Howard and Clint Howard's house. They lived at Cordova and Oak for many, many years.
For Burbank, that's where they lived.
Yep.
Wow.
Block from Stevenson.
We're talking about that rabbit hole, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Okay. Now we're going to see how brave Nikki really is. I'm going to give you 2 locations that were given to me as the 2 worst burgers in Burbank.
Okay.
Okay. So if we don't hear a lot from you, I understand. But you volunteered for this. The first being Ribs USA.
I've never had a burger from Ribs USA because, ribs.
Don't want one.
Ribs. I've had ribs from Ribs USA.
The burger was absolutely terrible there. Like eating rubber.
Never had it.
Oh,
Well, when Ribs USA, when they opened, the original owner, I remember
the original one was good.
I remember photographing all of
What year was
ribs?
that?
90s, in the mid 90s, I think.
Because I remember mid 90s, it was like the place.
It
My
was
dad,
the
my
place.
dad was like, "We're getting ribs,"
Yep.
and that's where we'd go.
He had one here and he had one on Van Nuys Boulevard. And I remember shooting photographs of both.
Okay.
And he sold it and it fell off the cliff.
Yeah, it really did. It just absolutely horrid.
That's true.
What's the second one there?
You're going to be surprised. Once again, you don't think it was a burger place, but they have burgers. Corner Cottage.
You know what's funny? I was about to make a comment about Corner Cottage because when they obviously again breakfast burritos, like that's what you go to Corner Cottage for.
Although they eat a lot more potato than they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And I used
know.
to, we know. And those are my go-to, honestly. Corner Cottage breakfast burritos. Oh, you wanted them before school. They were like hefty. Like
Back in the day,
one
yes.
of those could hold you like the whole day. It weighed as much as a
You
baby.
still got that drum roll thing you got over there?
I still got it for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't hear it. There it goes. Corner Cottage. It'll be open on Sundays, starting, I think I saw June 1st. I just saw a posting on social media that first time since they've ever been
Well,
in business.
the problem with the burger there is it's the size of a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Now, is it still the same though? Because I was going to mention Corner Cottage because we're talking about restaurants that had great owners and then we're potentially going to shut down and somebody else picked them up. I got to say with Corner Cottage, I'm glad that somebody bought it when it was at the brink and that the new owners seem to want to really take care of it.
I will say, make sure we get back for another look at them because that's absolutely true. I'll give you a quick story about how we nearly ruined and what so I wish we would have now, looking at how history went. But back in the day, we're talking back in probably 2000 and I want to say 8 in that area. We're doing burger reviews all the time, and we went to a place called oh my god, they just escaped me.
Oh, no.
Wait a second. It's a place that we all hate. What is the place that gave us all the problems? Magnolia. What?
Ooh, he got me.
Tin Horn Flats?
Tin Horn Flats.
Oh,
My god, I can't. I'm trying to get that out of my mind. It's just so bad.
Speaking of places that were picked up by new lovely owners.
yes.
Yes. We went to Tin Horn Flats, and the burger was just absolutely horrendous. A huge, terrible review.
And they had a 5-star. His wife or his fiance, the gentleman that owned it, who probably will listen to this, his wife was a 5-star chef, came out, and I thought I was going to watch Craig gag.
Well, we got a note letter saying, please, we saw your review. Our business is going down. Nobody's coming in anymore. We've completely changed our burger menu. Would you please come back? And so I waited like a month. And then, when we go, we don't tell them we're there. We just go in, video. And I'm like, what? It was actually became one of the best. And it's just because.
I will say though, Craig, you told me how brave am I? Not brave enough to eat there.
Well, not that. No, I mean.
Well, it's funny because him and I have gone in there after that. And yeah, we wouldn't go back.
We want to, yeah.
But what she did is
Nothing that happened there surprised me. It was that way.
exactly. She had told us after we went back and the burger dude redid it. She went to Handy Mart, had meat ordered daily, so it was fresh ground beef that she would only, instead of using frozen hockey pucks, on the grill, and she changed her whole burger. And the review
We gave a great review.
And we had one other place I thought you were going to bring up. We watched deers up there, and we watched guys hit little golf balls up there.
Yeah. The
What's it called?
The Castaway Restaurant. I'm not Castaway. The what's our golf course called?
The Bell. The Bell. The Bell. But is that the burger place?
It was a
DeBell has their own restaurant up there.
Well, we went in there, and do you remember what they said? The burger guy ordered a burger. I think the bread either came out from last week, or they just found it in the freezer.
Oh
And
no!
he wrote the review that
because we don't tell them we're coming in. We just we're Joe customer.
As you should.
Yes.
And he bit into it, and the bread was so stale, and he wrote that. And they said, they wrote a letter saying that you guys, the burger guy ruined our business. Our bread order didn't come in that day. So we sent somebody to Smart and Final, and they bought the wrong rolls. So we had to serve our burgers on wrong rolls.
Oh, no.
Not my fault.
But we did go back, and I will say the garlic bread was pretty good.
Yes, because they stole Smokehouse's recipe.
Oh man, I've taken the recipe. We can make a mean cheesy bread at home.
Oh,
Use the macaroni and cheese, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There you go. Craig knows.
Yeah. Back in the 80s when I was at Burroughs, I actually coached the son of the chef at the Smokehouse.
Oh, now that's the ticket.
Lucero.
All the secrets.
and then he moved up to when they originally offered DeBell or whatever it was called. He took his recipe up there,
Right.
and all his food was the same. And then he sold it, or the city took it over, and a big conglomerate owned it.
Yeah, the city has it now, so that's why I'm like, oh no, I don't want to hear bad things about DeBell. Like that's our
We've not been
property
there for a while. We got to check a lot of
Gotta get a chance again.
Talk about a few corporate burgers, such as Foster's. You know,
I was going to say
it's a good burger as a corporate burger.
Yeah.
It's that frozen patty and all that stuff, but it's just the way they put it together, it's a good burger.
Now you want to know a secret?
What's the secret?
I worked at that Foster Freeze in 1976 up on
You told me that
Lopes
one.
and Angelino. I remember making plenty of those burgers. All the police officers used to hang out there because they got free coffee. And I'll never forget, they had the family that owned it, the Haddad family. They were in trouble with the law all the time. So everybody thought the police officers were there because they were in trouble, but they actually served good coffee. But I worked there with some cheerleaders from Burroughs, and that's the only reason I applied, because I knew the cheerleaders. But talk about great ice cream and how to make all those, the triple and everything.
That's what I think of when I think Foster's. I think
There
the
you
ice cream.
Their burgers are still good. And we had another Foster Freeze in Burbank. You know where it was? Again, probably.
No. That's the one I know. The one that's still.
If you watch old episodes of Emergency or Adam 12, you'll see it.
On Magnolia at Florence. It's across from Namie's. It's an office building that used to be owned by Mike Cunningham. There was a Foster Freeze there, and where that parking lot is was a pitch and putt.
Yeah.
Would have never known, given how it looks now.
Pitch and putt. Remember? I remember.
Yeah.
What?
Joe, did you ever
That's what Northwest Park was before it became a baseball field and a library and everything. I was a pitch and putt there too.
Do you remember going up over the hill? When we say over the hill, it means over the freeway, right?
Right.
Where the Cornell Theater, well, Cornell Drive is, there used to be a great big slide there that you used to climb up, and those metal slides you see at fairs and all.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had a little tiny pitch and putt, 6-hole pitch and putt there too.
Oh, that's so cool. That's one of those things I'd love to still see around.
Let's see here. Let me start another burger place out here. How about well, believe it or not, the Smokehouse. Now you don't go there for
Really?
a burger, but they have a pretty good burger at the Smokehouse.
I everything there is eclipsed by their cheesy bread.
Yeah, absolutely. And the prime rib on a Monday special. I know this Monday specials. Trust me.
There's another one now. There's quite a few places that offer prime rib, Smokehouse, Talleyrand. There's a place Gary Bricks used to offer. All these places had prime rib, but yeah, for local Smokehouse, you kind of can't beat.
Yeah.
Now, how about this place? This is a very interesting story. Champ Sports Bar.
Oh yeah.
Okay? They were not very good. Bar Rescue went in there and did a Bar Rescue episode in there. And right after Bar Rescue left, the guy threw everything out that the Bar Rescue did. And I went there before Bar Rescue, and the burger was terrible. I went back there probably 8 months ago. The food was fantastic. So I think he figured out, okay, it's about the food.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, if you go to a sports bar, you go anywhere, it really is about the food.
My biggest knowledge of Champs is really just it was the bar from the George Lopez show. they changed the name, and I was just like, wait, I know this place, and they just changed the like color of the name. That's how I always knew Champs.
Now we know about all of the famous shooting at Bob's Big Boy, right?
Oh yeah,
Starting and the celebrities such as the Beatles being there, and
they have a lot of celebrities on their wall, including a picture of the mayor of the city of Burbank.
Oh.
Yeah. That's one of my trivias. If you look at the wall at Bob's, I am in one of the pictures in full marching band uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
There's in the back part.
I won't tell you where. You gotta go find it.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little investigating there, aren't we?
Trivia. We're adding to our trivia list here. Blake, can I order lobster now with a little lobster bisque? Maybe I'll pick it up about 5 o'clock tomorrow. Lobster. We're told your lobster is delicious.
Okay, so
Makes me lobster, mean burger. What doesn't he do?
yeah, how about this place?
Kids.
How about this place? Hill Street Cafe.
Oh,
I remember this. Yeah.
It's still there.
and that was
Originally, it was a what?
I don't know who's.
Oh, yeah, you do. Your picture is in one of the other ones.
Wait, really?
Yes.
It was a Bob's.
Sure.
If you look at it, you'll see the Bob's architecture and
And
pictures.
before that, there was another one down on San Fernando
Road.
at
Oh,
Providencia.
that I knew. That one I knew.
That was
I
a
did not know the Hill Street one.
It was a Hill Street, or it was Bob's, and then it was a coffee shop. I'm trying to think the name of it.
Arrows, I think.
Yeah, Caro's, and then something else, and then Juan bought it, and now it's Hill Street. And
You know how people get basically married to their neighborhood in Burbank, right? Like you tell me about the Media District or Magnolia Park, and I can tell you where everything is. I've been to every restaurant there. The minute we start talking about downtown, I'm like, oh, that is foreign territory, even though it's not. It is 10 minutes away. Well, for my family, we usually went to church, St. Finbar, other places. I forgot what happened that week. We ended up going to church up there at
St. Francis.
St. Francis Xavier, yeah. So we hadn't gone up there, and that was the novelty of going up there. My dad was like, "Oh, there's this place called Hill Street Cafe." And that's how we ended up there. And I gotta tell you, remember, didn't get a burger. My brother got a burger. He loved it, but I had a chicken pot pie, and I loved it.
Their food is very, very fresh, and the soups.
It's hearty.
Soups are amazing. They do a tomato bisque on Mondays.
Ooh.
Oh, I love a good tomato bisque. I just love one. Fantastic.
We got some pretty darn good restaurants in this town, and anybody that listens to this, now you know
How about,
Nikki Perez.
about Story Tavern?
There you go. Now, Story
yeah.
Tavern now. Tater tots. Aren't they the home of tater?
Yeah.
They are.
I think we need to find that other rabbit hole, either the squirrel or the gopher hole. And I want to talk to her about burritos and breakfast burritos.
Well,
That is one of my staple foods.
we got to
Ross.
do another show here.
I could talk about food all day. I want to do the breakfast burrito episode, but we have to do an ice cream episode.
Oh,
That is.
now you're in trouble. You are in trouble walking distance to an ice cream store. I
I'm
don't
very
think
in
I'd have to move. I'm sorry. You are too close to an ice cream store, ma'am.
So if they said right now, okay, the rest of your life you're going to have one dessert and one dessert, cake, a pie, an ice cream, what are you going to have?
Well, first of all, I would destroy that person because I am not eating one dessert the rest of my life.
But what would dessert be?
Oh my goodness, that's so hard. I have,
See, to me, that's easy. To me, it's ice cream. Easily ice cream.
I have one of the biggest sweet tooths. I have a huge sweet tooth. That's so hard.
So says the skinniest person in the room.
Not right now. Well, that's hard. Well, when everybody asks me, everybody will ask, you run a lot. You love to run. Do you really like to run? I do like running, but I run not because of health. I run so that I can eat what I want.
Well, that's nice, having somebody in this room that lifelong Burbank resident, restaurants in and out. It's kind of like when your family wants to go out. It's, where you're going to go, or you have your certain choices. You have Barragans, or you have tequilas, you have Morrison's that are new, and we have a ton.
And you have your staples, and you remember eating with your family everywhere. Obviously, my family has so many memories of Bob's, Los Amigos, we love it. It's right down the street.
What was it before Los Amigos?
I don't know. What was it?
It was Cajun food.
Really?
I have a friend of mine.
Before that was Michael's Seafood.
Right, Michael's, and before that it was Perino's. Perino's Seafood. That was across the street from Chadney's.
That I remember.
Chadney's. And now you want to know a secret? Now these people are learning things about this rabbit hole. You know why you can't do anything on that Chadney's property?
Why?
There is a river that goes below it, the LA stormwater.
Yeah, that travel.
And also the power lines are overhead. You can't build up, you can't build down. So that's why Chadney's is a small restaurant the size as it is.
Which is now Bruce Brothers.
Great.
Wow.
So you're going to learn a lot from this show.
Let's throw out there.
Well, wait, if you're living over there, Albin's Drugstore, is that before your time?
That's before my time, but I know what you're talking about.
How about
Vandy Camp.
This was an interesting. Well, yeah, Vandy Camps was a. You don't remember Vandy Camps? There's no way.
No, that was before I was even a thought.
Yeah. all of it. All of Victory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They had a big windmill and everything.
And what was the place right behind it after? It's where Centinela,
the pet food store?
No. Again, it was a cafeteria style. They had a prime rib in the window. The guy would carve it. Right behind
Chef's Takeout.
Chef's Takeout.
Huh.
Chef's Takeout.
Chef's Takeout. Yep. How about well, the Castaway has a decent burger too, of all places. Now, who goes to the burger? I don't know, but
I was going to say, I've never had a burger at Castaway.
And also Talleyrand. Haven't talked about Talleyrand yet, or Coral Cafe.
Oh, I've had a burger at Coral for sure.
Yeah.
We all have.
But we've talked about a ton of places that have come and gone. Can you just picture the amount of food places that we have now? Riverside Drive, aren't there like 10 different restaurants?
Oh, yeah.
There?
There's 20 restaurants in a 3-block area with no parking. So seriously, I mean, we counted it one day, and that's why they keep going out of business. You got to have people able to walk in, and the buildings are all empty now. So how do you go to a restaurant when you can't park in the area?
I know it's hard. It's getting harder and harder with like Priscilla's. I love their coffee, but
Now, do you know where Priscilla's was originally?
I don't.
Ooh, come on.
It used to be a gas station.
It was Atlantic Richfield, to be exact.
Yeah.
And it was next to a Dale's Jr.
Not next to it.
One intersection over. Guess who worked at that Dale's Jr.?
Was it you?
No, it was him.
That was me. One day I actually even bought it and changed the name to Toluca Mart.
Yep.
Wow. My gosh.
And then no money in that, so off I went. So,
Would have never expected a gas station.
Priscilla's.
Oh, I love Priscilla's.
Okay, and it was on the corner of Riverside. It's where the Marsh Theater is.
Yeah.
That was Priscilla's.
If you haven't had a blueberry iced coffee, you haven't lived. You have to try a blueberry iced coffee.
Really? And I will say, we have Starbucks on every corner inside of every store. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink. I'm not.
I like iced coffee.
But think of Priscilla's, where it was, where it is now. Shannon and her husband are doing a great job in there. They have a clientele. She sits on the Toluca Lake Chamber of Commerce because I work with her. I do their photography, and they have a clientele that is so religious to them.
Yes.
Even with a Starbucks 30, 40 feet across the street, people still love.
They've kept, I don't know how they do it in this economy, but they've kept their prices reasonable. They're so nice. It's a welcoming space, and their menu is so good. Their coffee too. I'm a huge coffee person, Ross. We could do that episode, and I'd be all over that.
We got a lot of episodes to do, don't we?
We just make this a food segment. We'll go on and
I think we have a new third partner on our shows here.
I am all game.
What I just see here, I just saw a place I wanted to bring up. Oh, Courtside Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've been there. I think you played What did I see you play there once? Wasn't paddle ball or what? Pickle ball. It was tennis. I think I
Yes.
witnessed.
They have a nice little cafe in there.
I haven't had their burgers though. It's interesting because every time I go, they're so nice. They're like, "You're on the rush. You're always like coming in and out. Do you want something?" And 9 out of 10 times I'll get a croissant or something like very quickly. Next time I'll be like, "So your burger?"
There you go.
Good to know.
You know, and you look, if you somebody that has been around this city for as long as I have, how that tennis court, you know, how it's run privately
Yes.
through the city. It's city property, but they host so many things for para athletes, for the mentally.
So they're amazing. I mean, they work with so many groups. Steve Starleaf is phenomenal.
And his wife just.
Oh my gosh, I hope I have as much energy as Steve one day. but he's wonderful. He does so many events. He works with Acing Autism, with now with our adaptive sports, doing the first adaptive tennis. Got a big shout out to Dara, who's an amazing tennis player, this young woman from Burbank here who wants to be in the Paralympics. And I think she'll get there. She's phenomenal. You know, so they do so many great things. And I did not know that their burger was one of them.
There you go. I'll give you another place too that you probably don't think about as a burger place. And I will say this, I did have one the other day after practice, and it wasn't what it used to be. So I'm a little bit, I wonder, they have a new owner there now. But their breakfast burritos, people I've always talked about, and that's Apollo's.
Apollo, I was going to say.
And Magnolia and Glen Oaks. So I'm a little,
See, and that's the thing when they do have new owners, I know, and they changed the landscape and all. And they're known for their breakfast burrito. Apollo. It's right like, you know, Larry's is known for chili dog, chili burger.
Yeah, I mean,
chili cheeseburger. Where is that?
Larry's lives rent free in my dreams.
Somewhere.
Oh, you mean
cheeseburger.
But you know, these other people that have taken over, like for breakfast burritos, and then you know they're known for that. Don't try to do a burger, folks. You can't. Sometimes.
Well, I just think if you're going to do a burger, no matter who you are, whatever, if you're going to do a burger, that's great. But have some pride in it.
Yeah.
Have some, serve something that you want to eat yourself that you'd be proud to serve to your family.
Hamburgers are so American that, like, it's one of those things where people know when you do it right. People know when you do it wrong. There's a wrong way, you know, and that's our staple food.
If you can't get a burger right, then what makes you think you can get anything else right there, you know?
How about we didn't ever list Hamptons?
Oh, yeah, good old Hamptons. Remember?
And do you know what Hamptons was before it was Hamptons? Do you know where Hamptons was?
No, where was it?
They were Moe's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
And before that?
I'm like learning a whole new landscape of Burbank before my time.
Before that?
Oh.
It was House of Pancakes.
And not
the original.
Not only the House of Pancakes, the very first one ever. The original, made in 1959.
Really? Huh. I did not know that.
And what's funny was after Moe's shut down, because if you both look at it, you could still see the steeple kind of in the very front.
That's funny.
Because that was the original and the way it was set up. But
I got to tell you,
I actually sent an email to IHOP's headquarters and said, "This is now empty. This was your first ever location. Burbank is a happening city. It's a great area. You should come back here and redo that place and really, because you have the third Bob's Big Boy ever. Now you'll have the first pancake house ever right there." Didn't return my email.
Man, they still have the one that's up in San Fernando, right? Like on San Fernando.
Yeah.
You know what? IHOP is one of those places for me where, like, you know, you said you went back and you tried something and it wasn't as good. I got to tell you that's what I remember post prom. We all went to IHOP because it was one of the few places that was open that late and had breakfast food. Yeah. And it was, you know, close to the freeway. And so, you know, got off the freeway, went there. And I still remember these were my favorite things, talking about desserts. They had the double chocolate chip pancakes. So it was chocolate pancake, like the actual dough was chocolate with chocolate chips in it, chocolate sauce in the middle. It was probably like a sugar nightmare. It was so good.
Oh,
I went back as an adult and ordered the chocolate chip pancakes, thinking they were the same ones.
no.
It's just regular pancake with chocolate chips on it. And I don't know. I feel like they could see like 5-year-old and 15-year-old me's disappointment in my eyes, because I just looked at them like, oh, thank you. That's
Well, one of the things that I want to bring back, and again, I probably before your time, there used to be a place on Burbank called Barron's Coffee Shop, and it was they were known for their pancakes. And Connie Barron, who we know, she works for the school district. She still has her dad's recipe, and she does it for the borough's choir all the time. That's one of the things I'd love to get her if we put Burbank on Parade back and do a good old pancake breakfast with her cooking her dad's pancakes. Because
I'm gonna give you another place though that you don't think of as a burger place. I think it was as a breakfast place. And we've talked about before. You ready? Eden Park.
Eden Park. Huh, with some burger.
Yeah.
Huh.
They do lunch there.
yep, they do.
That's true. I don't think I've ever been for lunch. Definitely at breakfast, but not lunch.
Should I tell her?
You tell her.
Okay.
What was it, Ross?
Story. Yeah, he's got a story that had me baffled also for a while.
Burbank police officers, they have to check off where they go to lunch all the time. So this one officer, Frank Roth, they used to call him Casper because he, real light blonde hair and kind of white skin and all, and called him Casper. Casper, where are you checking off for code 7? Eden Park. So one day, after a month or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5.
Hold on, before you go any farther, okay? When you think of Eden, what else do you think of when you think of Eden?
I mean,
I drove up and down.
You're Burbank. Come on now. You are a Burbank person. What else do you
I
think?
drove.
Besides Eden Park, what else do you think of besides Eden?
I literally drove up and down Eaton Drive 10 times looking for Eaton Park. I went up to this officer and I said, "Hey, Frank, where the hell is Eaton Park?" And he says, "It's the restaurant in Buena Vista."
Greg, you underestimate how much of a fat kid I am. I would have never thought that. I'd be like, Eden Park, he's having a breakfast.
No, see, that's what, to us.
I was
Because we always ran all the calls, so our job was always know all the streets in Burbank. So you say Eden, I know where Eden is. Jumped on
I
the
went
hill.
up Eden. I actually went down Eden. I went up Eden. I looked in everybody's driveway.
We thought it was up on how they have the what's the field up there on the very end.
Like Brace Canyon.
Brace Canyon.
Yeah,
Park.
no, there's one that's farther down though, near Station 16. It's a little park with one little baseball field there or something. Anyhow, we thought it was one of those kind of places, like a Santa Anita play lot.
I literally
If
went
I
up
hear
Eden.
Eaton Park, the first thing I hear is Eaton Park.
No,
He looked at me like, "Eden Park. We eat at Eden Park." I was so embarrassed about Eden Park. There's no Eden Park up on Eden Drive.
Like, I am food based. If you say the word corral, I say cafe.
yeah.
Well, we've touched on plenty of burgers. We got to enjoy some tater tots before we indulge in this. I'm going to break the code of silence here.
Oh,
But yes, Burbank has a ton of fantastic eateries. There's brand new ones every single day. Magnolia Park. I just saw a Cafe 1986, I think, or Cafe. It's a brand new
Oh, Cafe 86.
Cafe 86.
Ube latte. Have an ube latte there. They're delicious.
Everybody's telling me you go on.
they serve food also?
Yep.
Or?
Yep.
Okay.
They're sweets, Vietnamese or
I believe it's Vietnamese, but one of the popular coffees that like took over LA, you know how it was all about matcha for a little bit and then it's all about, pistachio coffee. There's always something new. When the ube craze hit, they opened up and they have one in Northridge too, which I used to go to. So I'm happy that I don't have to drive all the way to Northridge now, but they have an ube latte. For folks that don't know, ube is that purple root. And if you ever have like taro.
Is it sweet or sour?
It's sweet. It's sweet. It's definitely, it's potato based, but it doesn't taste like potato. It's sweet. It's a very nice, like soft, like sweet taste. And if you've ever had like boba, there's ube boba.
Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay. So we just did our Best of Burbank show. And we did our 2024 edition, and place called
25.
no, we did a 2024 revision,
You're right.
and there was the boat. What's it called? All about
Boba time?
all about
Boba
Bubba or something or anyhow. It
We have
was,
a few.
and everybody went to it. And said, I said no, and this year, of course, and when we get to the Boba place again, they go, well, I go, no, I have to go have Boba
Oh,
sometime
right.
the next month.
Let's get in the tour bus. That's part of the stops,
I
right?
don't know
there.
I have no idea what it is.
Well,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
love boba.
This new place on Magnolia. It's kind of about the Lima. It's on the north side of the street. It's brand new. They came to a mixer that we had in Magnolia Park. Yummy, yummy food. I mean, great people. Right next to it is Bone Juice.
Yes.
Another place. You know, we talk about burgers and we talk about fantastic eateries in town. There's a lot of tiny little businesses that restaurants are very, very hard. As Gary Brick would say, if you don't own the land, you're working for somebody.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, our restaurants, it's nice to see in our economy where people are dying, people are coming to Burbank to open up restaurants.
It is nice to see. And we want more restaurants here in Burbank. I really think quality of life is also that, right? And I say that as somebody who loves to eat, but I don't want to see a Starbucks on every corner. No hate to Starbucks. I don't want to see a chain on every corner. I want options. I love having that ability to try different mom and pop things. Because guess what? When I go to Magnolia, maybe sometimes I want a strong coffee from Porto's. Maybe sometimes I want that ube latte because I'm feeling something sweet. Another time I'm going to go to Romancing the Bean. I love having the option to support all the local businesses there. The Palm. I was there the other day.
To Larry's, the delayed chili cheeseburger, and then you walk right next door to that
Sliders.
right to Sliders for your dessert.
Don't tell me about sliders.
Sliders.
And
Yeah.
I will say, I got to say this though. As a pregnant lady, have one bone to pick with Larry's.
Oh,
Why is he not open at 3 a.m. when I'm craving chili cheese fries?
Ask Greg why he's not there at 4.
why is it not at 4 in the afternoon? Even I get out for practice. I go, oh, I could really use Larry's right now. Oh,
If you're listening to this,
come on,
Well,
John.
I know
3
John
a.m..
very well.
Yeah.
John is in there at 6 a.m. and I've shared this. My son works in the lighting industry in the studio. My son will call John. He has his personal phone number at 5 in the morning and tell John, I need 30 breakfast burritos at 6:30. John will go in and prep everything, have them ready in a heated container. My son will take them to America's Got Talent or Dancing with the Stars. He is the most loved employee that brings breakfast. They all know, and John knows if my son has dietary restriction.
Yeah.
John will make it exactly how he wants. People don't understand. You want something or you need something? Ask John. But he will get up. He will be there at 6 in the morning cooking 30 breakfast burritos for guys.
and see, Ross and I were talking a little before the show, and one of the things I didn't know, and if anybody else out there is like me who loves a breakfast burrito with tater tots, they make their breakfast burrito with tater tots. So I will be there tomorrow morning if you want to find me.
Well, John, you know, he and talk about, restaurant owners, it's hard. It's really hard. You got people complaining. I look on social media and people will make one comment about, oh, I went here to eat and it wasn't this perfect. Everything isn't perfect, folks. And, when you jump on that bandwagon, oh, I didn't like something. Everybody has this social media and they think, oh, I can answer this, blah, blah, blah. Think about the families that those restaurant owners employ, all those employees and so forth. John's been there.
Oh, 25 years.
Oh, yeah. And it's him and his wife. I remember his daughter when she came out of high school. She worked there. Now she's going to college, and that's the thing. Little businesses like that. So my take on this is love these tiny places. We now have Handel's ice cream. Sliders is delicious. I'll still go into Sliders. He makes custom flavors, but Handel's, I gotta tell you this, Nikki Perez here told me I got to try their Bing Cherry, or their cherry ice cream. I was in there a couple weeks ago and got you
good cherry ice cream.
It's their black cherry. Let me tell you, if we're going about
we're off the burger today, that's okay. That's okay, people. This is
down the rabbit hole, right?
You know what? If you don't have to have dessert after your burgers, so you gotta try a little ice cream.
You got to have dessert unless you drink your milkshake with your burger. Either one is acceptable. But Handles, I got to tell you, I tried that first scoop of black cherry ice cream. And if you grew up around here, it took me back to Thrifties.
Oh, yes.
Back in the day, Thrifties, when they would give you that like cone and that shit. Yes, the round cone. Oh my God, it tasted like Thrifties from like 1990. So,
well, you and I'll break the silence here. The mayor who happens to be also in the room today for another show that she did, but she and I did a ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
At Handles, and I let her lick the scoop. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say lick the scoop, was I? Oh, well, she did have did you have 3 on that or 4? Then you had a cup. Then you had, no wonder, that cake didn't fit well.
May have been the equivalent of an entire pint of ice cream on a cone.
But I will tell you, they gave me a pint to go home. It didn't make it all the way home. They are the nicest people running that. It's a young couple. She's 8 months pregnant.
She is also expecting. We are around the same timeline.
But you talk about great. I love to see a new young couple take over a business like this, and their employees and all were bright and chirpy. I drove by last night at 9:45, and there's still a line around the place.
Oh yeah,
nightly.
How late are they open till?
11 usually.
Wow.
Yeah.
And think of all those apartment dwellers. A lot of people that from Lakeside and what's the school here? New York.
May or may not be one of those apartment dwellers.
Well, New York Film Academy. A lot of people live there. Talk about it. A great place to put an ice cream store.
When we went for the ribbon cutting day, there were folks waiting in line around the block overnight. It was free ice cream for a year. There was part of me that was very upset that I didn't do it. There was another part of me that was like, well, you'd probably be dead in a year because I would make use of that.
Well, like I said,
there used to be another ice cream in that shopping. Yeah, Curry's. Back in the day, right in the corner where the Starbucks is.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know.
We used to have an ice cream place here on Riverside Drive too. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Where Dale's was.
Yeah. What was it?
Ooh, there's one now.
They tore it down to build Dale's.
Right. Now there's one that one of our people that might listen from Toluca Lake might be able to call it or email us and share with us. But don't forget, you're driving the bus. Olive Bistro, that's one on your list. We got to go try there. And then maybe the next show, you and I and Craig will share about breakfast burritos. Mm-hmm. And then I want to check the lobster bisque. Oh, that was at your house. That's right.
Oh yeah, you're both welcome to lobster bisque back in my house.
Well, Blake, you know, if you listen to this, I know you're going to be dying laughing.
You're going to listen to it.
You're going to die laughing what your other half enjoys food-wise and burger-wise. This has been a great show, I tell you. We reminisce. We've gone down the rabbit hole.
We've gone down some Burbank history tonight.
Yes. I'll tell you, know what? If you looked at our other rabbit hole shows, people gave us all kinds of, you forgot this, you forgot this. And you know what? If we forgot this, put it down here in the comments below us, guys. Let us know. Let us know what we missed, because we'll talk about it next time.
What is the best burger in Burbank to you? Like, I want to know.
First person that goes up to the dais and talks about some type of food item to our mayor, we will take you over to Larry's, and I will personally buy you a chili cheese dog.
If you come to the dais and your public comment is to let me know the best burger in Burbank, bless you. I will love you forever.
Maybe give an extra 1 minute, right? It's on the. I can imagine that. Okay, well, I think we've done it. I think we've gone down that rabbit hole for a while, and I know we missed places. Put it in the comments. Let us know, okay? Right after you hit the like button, right after you subscribe. Those are important things to do.
But sometime on one of our next shows, like you said, the tater tots, to make a burrito with tater tots instead of shredded potatoes. If people on one of our next shows, the different things that you suggest, write to us, tell us, because we'll investigate. She's driving the bus.
We will go out there.
So, we'll send us an email to news@myburbank.com and say, in the subject line, put breakfast burrito. And I'll forward them to everybody else and we'll look it over. Right? We want to know too. We want to learn.
Oh yeah.
I've been here 69 years, I will say, last week 69 years. I don't think I was eating breakfast burritos the first couple of years, but I'll tell you, I've tried a lot of burritos in this town, a lot of burgers, a lot of food. I didn't get up to this weight just eating oatmeal and milk, but I'll tell you, this is a fun show to do. We all eat. I don't care what you say.
Listen, I got 2 mouths to feed right here. If people have suggestions, I'm all ears.
There you go.
All righty. Well, once again, for Nikki Perez and for Ross Benson,
Boy, I'm tops to you.
Craig Sherwood saying, thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. If you're only doing this in your car, listening to the podcast, keep 2 hands on the wheel. Everybody else, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching our myBurbank video. Please consider a channel membership to support us, or head over to our merch store where you can pick up some great items. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest videos, and please don't forget to hit that like button.